The school was buzzing with the usual energy of a Monday morning. Students crowded the hallways, chatting, laughing, shoving their books into lockers. It was the kind of chaotic normalcy that made every day feel the same, until something new disrupted the pattern. A new student. Marcus stepped into the school building for the first time, his backpack slung over one shoulder, his posture relaxed but observant. He wasn't nervous, he had been the new kid before. But this time, something was different. He quickly noticed the way people looked at him, the way conversations quieted slightly as he walked past. He was used to standing out, but in this school, it was clear that he wasn't just another new face. He was the only black student in sight. He had hoped this wouldn't be an issue. He wanted to keep his head down, focus on his studies, and get through the year without drama. But some people had other plans. Before we dive into what happened next, make sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. We bring you gripping, real-life stories that will keep you on the edge of your seat. Now, let's get back to Marcus and the lesson his bullies would never forget. Marcus made it through most of the morning without trouble. A few stares, some whispered comments, but nothing direct. That changed when lunchtime rolled around. As soon as he stepped into the cafeteria, he felt the shift in the atmosphere. The usual hum of voices continued, but there was something else, a subtle but noticeable ripple of attention moving toward him. He grabbed his tray, picked a seat in the middle of the room, and started eating. That's when they approached. Tyler and his crew. Tyler was the kind of kid who thrived on power. He wasn't the biggest or the strongest, but he controlled the school in other ways, through intimidation, manipulation, and the confidence that no one would stand up to him. And today, he had a new target. "Hey, new kid," Tyler said, sliding into the seat across from Marcus. His friends flanked him on either side. "Didn't see you at orientation. Where'd you transfer from?" Marcus barely glanced up. "Out of state." Tyler smirked. "Yeah. Guess things are different where you're from." Marcus knew where this was going. He kept eating. Tyler exchanged glances with his friends, clearly annoyed by the lack of reaction. "You know, we don't get a lot of guys like you around here." Marcus finally looked up, meeting his eyes. "Guys like me?" Tyler grinned. "Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's cool. Just unexpected." One of Tyler's friends, Josh, chuckled. "Bet you're real fast, huh? You play football?" Marcus sighed. "Not really." "Basketball then?" "Nope." Tyler leaned forward. "So what do you do?" Marcus took another bite of his food. "I mind my business." For a moment, there was silence. Then Tyler laughed, clapping his hands together. "Oh, I like this guy. He's got attitude. But listen, new kid, here's the thing. This school? It's got a pecking order. And if you want to fit in, you gotta know your place." Marcus set his fork down. He could feel the tension thickening. He could hear the way nearby students had gone quiet, listening in. He exhaled slowly and shook his head. "I'm just here to eat, man." Tyler nodded slowly. "Right. Just here to eat." Then, without warning, he reached forward and shoved Marcus's tray, spilling his food all over the table. The cafeteria erupted into laughter. Marcus stared at the mess for a moment, then calmly picked up his napkin and wiped his hands. Tyler leaned back, grinning. "Welcome to Ridgewood High, new kid." Marcus didn't react. Didn't yell, didn't shove back, didn't threaten. He simply stood up, picked up his tray, and walked away. For Tyler, this was confirmation. Marcus was weak. Marcus was scared. Marcus had just made himself a permanent target. But what Tyler didn't know, what no one knew, was that Marcus had a secret. He had been training in martial arts since he was 6 years old. Muay Thai, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, boxing. Not just for self-defense, but for discipline, for control. His father had always told him, real strength isn't about proving yourself. It's about knowing when to walk away. So that's what he did. But walking away didn't stop the bullying. Over the next few days, Tyler and his friends escalated. They would trip Marcus in the hallway. Knock books out of his hands. Make jokes just loud enough for him to hear. He ignored them every time. Until the day they pushed too far. It was after school, in the parking lot. Marcus was unlocking his bike when he heard footsteps behind him. He didn't need to turn around to know who it was. "Hey, tough guy," Tyler called. "Where you off to?" "Thought maybe you'd want to stick around for a little lesson." Marcus sighed. "I don't want any trouble." Tyler smirked. "Yeah, you keep saying that. But we do." Then he swung. Or at least, he tried. Before his fist could land, Marcus moved. Smooth, effortless. He sidestepped the punch, grabbed Tyler's arm, and twisted, fast. Tyler's body flipped and slammed into the pavement. The parking lot went dead silent. Tyler gasped, completely stunned. His friends froze. Marcus released him and stepped back. "I warned you." Tyler scrambled to his feet, rage taking over embarrassment. "You think you're tough?" He lunged again. This time, Marcus didn't just dodge, he ended it. A quick leg sweep. A swift shoulder lock. And suddenly, Tyler was on the ground again, his arm pinned behind his back. Marcus leaned in. "Walk away, Tyler." Tyler didn't move. He couldn't move. Marcus let go and stood up. The message was clear. The next day, everything changed. Tyler stayed silent. His friends stayed away. The whole school knew. Marcus hadn't needed to prove himself. But now, everyone understood, real strength wasn't about fighting. It was about knowing when not to. And Tyler? He had just learned that lesson the hard way. If you enjoyed this story, hit the like button and subscribe for more powerful content. And tell us in the comments, have you ever seen karma play out like this? We'd love to hear your thoughts. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. What happened after that? The next few weeks at Ridgewood High felt different. Marcus still kept to himself, still walked the same hallways, still ate lunch alone. But there was one major change: no one messed with him anymore. Tyler, once the loudest voice in the school, had gone silent. His friends no longer followed him around like a pack of hungry wolves. The other students who had once laughed at his jokes now avoided eye contact and Marcus passed by. But the most surprising part? One afternoon, Tyler approached Marcus at his locker. Alone. For a brief second, Marcus thought he might try something again. But Tyler just stood there, shifting awkwardly before finally muttering, "Hey, about before. Yeah. My bad." Marcus studied him for a moment, then simply nodded. He wasn't interested in revenge. He had already won. Because true victory isn't about knocking someone down, it's about changing the game entirely.